And this book, it's a banger. It is so good. And we're back. It is me, your wonderful, lovely host, Karen, and I am here to give you a review of a book from the 2022 International Booker Longlist. So, I have decided to embark on this little challenge to read all 13 books, God willing, before the shortlist is announced on April 7th. If you want to follow along, if you want to see what's happening, what I'm reading, what I'm up to, please feel free to follow me on Instagram. My handle is @SwamiKaren. In addition, it would mean the world to me if you hit subscribe. It really makes my day. If you like this video, please do that. Okay, so far I have read 5 out of the 13 books. I have reviewed 4 of them already on my channel. Today, I'm pretty sure. No, I'm sorry. I have read 5 books from the list thus far, and I've reviewed 3 of them. They're already up on my channel. Today, we are going to talk about the 4th book that I read from the long list. It is Elena Knows by Claudia Piñeiro. I hope I said that okay. This book was great. This book was really good. But let's contextualize things a little bit. Let's learn more. Let's go deeper. This author, Claudia, she is from Argentina and is known for her crime novels, or internationally known for her crime novels. However, her work is political in nature. In this book, we are talking about a lot of things in a very, very tight edit. This book takes place in one day. You guys might be watching this. You might be like, what is this book even about? Let me tell you. We're following our main character, Elena, who has recently lost her daughter. Her daughter was found hanging from a church, from the church's belfry, and despite Elena's adamant conviction that her daughter was murdered, no one will believe her. They're all just like, no ma'am, like, case closed, we're so sorry, whatever. So she takes it upon herself to get to the bottom of this case. The problem is that she is suffering from Parkinson's disease, and it is very far along. She is struggling. And I'm gonna just briefly read this blurb in the back because I think it will add so much more to this video if I can just get you to have a brief understanding about what this novel is about. When Rita's body is found hanging in the belfry of the church she devoted herself to, the investigation is swiftly closed. But her mother, Elena, refuses to accept the police's version of what happened, and despite the physical limitations imposed by her illness, embarks on a journey to call in an old debt. Okay, now I know there's a lot of people on YouTube who really love stories that take place in quite a short amount of time. This novel takes place in one day, so I think a lot of people will like that. In addition, we are exploring a moderately antagonistic mother-daughter relationship. Elena and her daughter loved each other, but it was not the love of, open communication and kind words and physical touch, nothing like that. Their worlds revolved around each other, but they were quite harsh to each other. They didn't express affection very easily, or admiration for that matter. Now, at her death, the daughter, Rita, is 40 years old and the mother is 62. And Rita is Elena's full-time caretaker. Now, Rita isn't exactly an easy woman to deal with. Pardon, neither woman is actually very easy to deal with. Elena is someone who, she's a little stuck in her ways. She's very, to the point. She's a sharpshooter. She doesn't abide by a lot of, conventions necessarily. She's not a devout Catholic, though she married, her husband was. And Rita, as a result of this, she is a blend of the mother and the father. She is moderately devout, but it's the kind of conviction that's rooted in arbitrary rituals. So in this town that they live in, there happens to be a woman who performs illegal abortions. So Rita refuses to walk across this woman's front yard. She thinks it would be a sin to do so. And Elena, the mother, she abides by this rule to appease Rita. That's just one example of how Rita can be very superstitious. There's a lovely paragraph in the book where Elena describes all the various contradictions to be found in Rita's devotion to the faith. On the day that Rita died, it was raining. Now, this fact is what allows Elena to draw her case, because she believes, she knows that her daughter would never go to the church on the day that it rained because her daughter is deathly afraid of lightning. She wouldn't dare to do such a thing. She refused to even go to church on the days that it was raining. Tying back to the title of the novel, Elena Knows, Elena's conviction is based on her knowing, her innate, intuitive knowledge as a mother that her daughter would be incapable of doing certain things. As such, she is hell-bent on discovering the truth. But no one will believe her, not even Rita's hunchback boyfriend or the police inspector who's actually an officer, but she doesn't know that. The whole entire neighborhood, the priest, no one believes her. No one will stand by her side. As such, Elena decides to call upon an old debt. She is going to visit a woman who Elena and Rita played an instrumental role in altering the course of her life. Now, in order for Elena to even get to this woman, she has to consume throughout her day 3 or 4 pills in order to help mitigate some of the symptoms she suffers from as a result of Parkinson's. Thematically, this novel is exploring a lot of things. We've got Catholicism, abortion, mother-daughter relationships, and agency of the body. How the body plays a role in this novel is great because it works on more than one level. Throughout the whole entire novel, we are innately aware of Elena's illness. It is something that is always with her. She refers to it as capital H herself. She also calls it this horror illness. She is so aware of it. As a result of this, we're able to see her experiences as a woman who was able-bodied is no longer that. Can't lift her neck above a certain height because her body is, shutting down on her. So she's always looking down. As a result of that, her vantage point is, people's shoes. So through this lens, this very tight lens, we see what she sees, and it's a lot to unpack, and the author, I think, did it very well. Elena is not a character who you pity because she is so determined. However, she is plagued by hubris. There is a fatal flaw, and that is her knowing, her belief and her knowledge. That's all I'm gonna say because I don't want to spoil it, and I think sometimes I talk a little bit too much. And people should read this because you go in thinking one thing because Elena's conviction is so strong, and then you just have to see what happens next. And it's hard because to really speak further about the agency of the body, how that is explored in this book, I would need you to finish it and then come back to me, because then we can really have some interesting conversations about the way women are exerting control over other women's bodies because they are unable to express control of their own. So that's that. Stylistically, I thought this was so good. Such great sentences. It's very staccato in style. Brief observations, but then these moments where she really sets the scene for you or delivers such humor in her observations. For example, or just even her, not even just in her observations, just in the way she acts. When she's speaking to the inspector and he's like, oh, everyone's a nice person. I doubt we would put them on the list as a potential suspect. And she was like, I'm not a nice person. You should put me on the list. And he was like, I doubt that. But she's like, no, put me on the list. I didn't do a very good job explaining that. But there is so much humor to be found in this book and such great descriptions. The way this novel is divided up is to show us how Elena's day is now divided. She has her early morning pill, her morning pill, her mid-morning pill, and then the afternoon pill. And that is her day. Her time is measured in these pills from the moment she consumes the pill until she is able to actually start moving her body. She recites a prayer. And it's not the normal prayer of like a Hail Mary or an Our Father. It is the prayer of names and streets and things that she knows. The final thought I want to leave you guys with is this novel explores what it's like to have something happen to your body that is out of your control. The three main characters in this novel are kind of all experiencing that in some capacity. Okay, we're just gonna wrap this up. So I really enjoyed this book. I thought stylistically it is great. Thematically, we're covering so much. I would love to see this on the short list. And if you read it, or have read it, please let me know in the comments. And with that, I will see you later. Bye.